Good morning, my East Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church family. This is Melissa McDougle. I can take off my mask because Justin and I, our church guru with technology, we are social distance. As I said, this is Melissa. I am the church nurse at East Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of Reverend Brian K. Dees, located in Picayune, Mississippi. I come to you to talk to you about COVID, the signs and symptoms of COVID, and the COVID vaccine, and to hopefully answer any questions that you may have, not live, but some of the frequently asked questions. So you ask, what is the COVID vaccine? the COVID virus. It is a SARS virus, which means it is a respiratory virus. And this virus attacked our world just 1 year ago, and it is now the leading cause of death in the United States, which means this virus has surpassed diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. It is vitally important that we get vaccinated. I know many of us hear on the news the signs and symptoms, but I just want to reiterate to you the signs and symptoms of the COVID virus, which are if you develop fever, cough, shortness of breath, if you have muscle pain and muscle aches, fatigue, sore throat, if you lose your sense of taste or smell, these are all signs and symptoms of the COVID virus. But many young Americans are walking around with no symptoms at all. So if you have any of these symptoms, it is best for you to get tested. If you go and get tested and they do a rapid test, which takes about 15 to 30 minutes for your results to come back, if that rapid test comes back negative and you're still having symptoms, it just may be a sign that it's too early to detect the virus. Remember, this is a virus. Viruses mutate, they change. If you start having symptoms, you have to quarantine for 14 days. That is the CDC's recommendation. And it is not from the time that you received your test, it is from the time that you start having symptoms is when you should quarantine. The CDC also recommends that if you do test positive, do not get retested within 3 months of being positive for the COVID virus, because sometimes it will give you false results, and really your employer should not require you to get retested because it is too early. Some people say, well, can I get the COVID virus again? It's highly unlikely, but it is a new virus that the CDC is studying. Let's talk about the vaccine. Many people are skeptical about taking the vaccine. So many people are nervous. So you may say, oh, they made that vaccine too fast. I'm not taking the vaccine. Well, one thing I can say for the United States is our FDA, our Federal Food and Drug Administration, ensures that all of our vaccines will be safe. They go through rigorous and extensive development in the lab. There's extensive monitoring of the vaccine, and there are clinical trials to ensure that we are safe. I myself have had my second dose of COVID vaccine, and I did experience mild symptoms such as arm soreness. Sometimes you feel a little tired, but that is your body's natural immune system responding to you receiving a foreign vaccine. So check with your doctor. And if it's okay for you to take Motrin or Aleve or Tylenol, that is best for you to take after you have the vaccine, your vaccination. So I told you about the signs and symptoms of the COVID virus. Some people say, oh, I've been vaccinated, I don't have to wear my mask anymore. According to the CDC, the COVID virus is spread very easily. It is spread through respiratory. It is spread with people talking and breathing, coughing or sneezing. If I sneeze, it can travel up to 6 feet. If you're in the grocery store and someone just sneezed, they don't have a mask, and they're contracted with the COVID virus, and you pick up that loaf of bread that they just sneezed on, you stand a higher risk of getting the COVID virus. That is why it is vitally important to follow the CDC guidelines, which is wash your hands with soap and water. Not just rinsing your hands, but actually lathering your hands up and washing your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water. Continually to wear your mask, even if you've received the second vaccine. Don't have this as a false sense of security saying, oh, I'm vaccinated, I'm good. No, please continue to wear your mask. The droplets can stay on material items for up to 3 hours. So when the government says social distance, like I mentioned, if I sneeze, it can travel 6 feet. So that's why you have the 6 feet guideline. Let's talk about the vaccine and why you should get it. And if you are to get symptoms and you have to return to work. The quarantine the CDC recommends is 14 days. 14 days from the time you first develop symptoms. Remember, we're all human. If you have a headache or a cough or a sneeze, sometimes we tend to treat our symptoms at home. We take a Tylenol, hopefully the headache will go away. So from the first time you had your symptoms, not from the first time you were actually tested for the virus. When you have to return to work, many times, well, according to the CDC website, if you have been 10 to 14 days with absolutely no symptoms, no fever, no shortness of breath, no coughing, it is recommended that you are free to return to work 10 to 14 days as long as you don't have symptoms. It can go up to 20 days if your COVID was severe. We've all seen the news and we've all had family and friends that were affected by the COVID virus and they're in the hospital for 3 months. But many of us have underlying health conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes, so that contributes also to the respiratory part of the COVID virus. Lastly but not least, I want to talk to you about why does the COVID vaccine work? The COVID vaccine works because it's not like the flu shot. The flu shot, you receive a weakened part of flu virus, and it changes every year. So that's why some people receive the flu shot and they're like, oh, I received the flu shot and I'm very sick. I got the flu. But this is different. The COVID-19 vaccine does not contain a weakened part or a dead part of the virus. It is going to trigger your immune system. It contains genetic instruction manual that tells your immune system how to respond and how to protect you from exposure to the actual virus. It is called mRNA, which means messenger RNA. And at the end of my presentation or my talk to you guys, Justin is going to play a brief little 20-second video that really explains the COVID vaccine and how when you take that vaccine, it enters your body and what the messenger RNA does. We need what we call herd immunity, and the video will explain herd immunity to you. Herd immunity means we need as many people as possible to get vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. So far, 27 million people have been affected by the COVID-19 virus, and we've already exceeded that. Over 50 million people have been vaccinated. I don't know the true numbers, but I know we need more than 50 million people to be vaccinated if we have 500 million Americans in the United States alone. So do your part, everyone. My friends and family from East Jerusalem Baptist Church, wash your hands, wear your mask. Do your part and get vaccinated as soon as possible. Thank you.